How we looking? Is it too dark?
Oh, it looks good.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I did really bad last night um when I was playing this. I'm just a fool. I don't know what I'm doing. But when those fucking dogs killed me, I wanted to claw my eyes out. Anyway, I'm here with Alan, even though I need to actually do that. Though I don't think this actually works with the. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna get started. I believe what I was doing last night before my world came crashing down, and I got lost in the sauce. I was collecting moon crests. This does look kind of dark in this hallway, but
This is not too bad.
yeah, it's not too bad. But I need to remember. Okay, so what am I collecting? I'm collecting the crest with the tiger eye, and then I gotta do the god-awful fucking, I believe it's actually in this one. Oh no. And then this is the keypad lock, right? Yeah. I gotta do that puzzle with the paintings I did last night. I'm not sure if you were watching actively when I did that, Alan, but it's this puzzle where you have to select paintings in the order of birth to death. You know, back when Resident Evil had real puzzles and not place the conveniently discovered item in the obvious place that it needs to go, like in RE4, 5, and 6.
RE4 is pretty linear. I know that much.
I'm sorry?
I said RE4 is pretty linear.
I that's one thing that I generally don't like about RE4 going back to it. After playing, the originals, because I didn't actually play the originals until early 2019, because I was quite excited for the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I had played, well, this is a lie, technically, because I did play the original Resident Evil 2, and I think 3, and I think the remake on GameCube when I was a kid, but I found them insufferably boring. But, it was also excuse me. This was also the same kid that, played Resident Evil 5, every day after school for, months on end. My tastes have changed quite a bit over time, is all I'm getting at. Yeah, it's just when I replayed them before the second remake came out, because I wanted a little bit of context on what I was actually playing. I wanted to beat the original Resident Evil 2 so I could have an idea of what the differences were. I got a better, more sophisticated idea of what was appealing about this era of Resident Evil, and when I went back and played Resident Evil 4, which I had played many times, I played Resident Evil 4 on GameCube back early after it came out, and then I played it on 360. If you're a fan of RE4, you probably bought it on multiple consoles over multiple years and replayed it multiple times. It's just sort of the ecosystem of that game, kind of like Skyrim at this point. They're both kind of just classic games that we tolerate getting re-released every couple of years. It just the lack of intricate level design and scenario design just makes, especially if you were to approach it like an older RE game and try to do multiple runs, it actually makes the game less enjoyable over time. Because I really liked RE4, and then my sort of passive distaste for it, because it's not like I hate it or anything, but what I started to dislike about it, and its problems started grating on me more when I attempted to replay it many times just to get a more general idea of the game, like a more comprehensive memory or whatever. Especially because this was after I played Resident Evil 2 Remake, which I replayed like, man, I can't even, it's embarrassing. I have like 200 hours in that game on Steam, and it only takes like maybe 2 or 3 hours to play through the game, like on an A scenario or a B scenario. I'm sorry, what was that?
200 hours? Oh my god.
You know what? Don't laugh at me. There was a time where I was super into it. Like I was planning on like speed running and stuff, like getting into like contests, like, because I got to a point where I could beat the game in like an hour and 15 minutes, which is like really, really, really close to the world record. I think the world record currently is like 45 minutes, but at the time, the world record was like an hour. So I was like, I literally got to a point where I could beat the game 15 minutes slower than like the fastest person on the planet at the time, and I was just like, yeah, this is sick. And I also just found the mechanics and the general design of that game just really, really addicting and engaging. Especially how the zombies are done, which is just the best zombies in any video game. Like, they objectively, like, there's no game that has done zombies better than RE2 Remake, because they are just genuinely terrifying. Oh my god, am I just gonna walk in circles this whole fucking time? I got this crest, but do you remember where the room with the the painting room. Sorry, my brain's not working.
I don't think we're looking at it.
This is a waste of my time as well. Going in there.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go. What do you mean?
For some reason, it was replay of earlier video that I couldn't see what you were doing.
Oh, is it still streaming on Discord as well?
I just started it. It's working.
Okay. I'm just making sure because of I've never tried straining the internet from 2 separate streaming points at the same time, but I'd imagine that Discord is not very taxing because I'm only streaming to a single person. It's not like a public stream. Like this one. I've lost track of the plot, Alan. I don't remember where this door is. From what I remember from last night, the puzzle with the painting is right next to the exit door. The exit door to where I need to put the medallions in. Oh my god. Or the crests, better said. This emulator is sick though, Alan. I will say.
Which is?
I'm using DuckStation, which I didn't use before. I used a PSX last time I played this game, but it has full compatibility with my Xbox controller, and the upscaling is immaculate. Like I was so surprised last night when I saw like how crisp these models look when they're like completely unfiltered and they're just displayed at the highest resolution possible. Because like if you've played the original Resident Evil, which I don't know if you have. They kind of just, the models just kind of turn to soup in the low res. Like, they don't look like anything.
Yeah. I've never heard of that emulator. I've always used the PSA.
I guess I was just looking around when I did that because I was having a hard time getting PSX to work this time, and I was looking it up, and I think that PSX has been abandoned. I think it's abandonware now. I read that somewhere in a forum that it had, and then when I went to the actual website, it hadn't been updated since like 2017 or something, and I was like, maybe that's why I'm having problems, because it's just like super outdated and like, you know, operating systems aren't running well with it. And then I just saw that Duck Station was recommended, and it's got a really intuitive interface. It's well designed. It's a lot more elaborate than PSX, because PSX is just like, you load up the BIOS and then you just boot the game, which is basically as simple as that with this as well, but there's like, it's just got more of like a professional UI to it, which makes it seem more stable. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I mean that makes sense. I've never heard of it. I wish I had a computer to try it out.
Oh my god. This Zombo got fucking bit me. If I fucking die, I'm gonna be so upset. I really should just kill these zombies in this hallway. I keep leaving them because I don't want to waste the ammo, but at the same time, they have become a major annoyance.
So wait, they don't respawn once you kill them?
No. Much like many of the fine, intuitive, balanced decisions that go into like making the classic RE games what they are, like experientially, the enemy, like where enemies are placed and like each room and the amount of enemies and how tough they are is stagnant through the playthrough. So like if you choose to expend ammo in one room to take out an enemy, that enemy is gone forever, but you also don't have those resources for later on in a room that you may not anticipate. So there's a lot of like juggling those decisions through a playthrough. It becomes much more, I guess, cathartic in later playthroughs when you have a more concrete idea of like the amount of enemies and the amount of resources in each, bespoke area. But it also makes early playthroughs like as intense as they should be when you're talking about a survival horror game, because, your decisions have lasting consequences that echo through your entire playthrough. Which again isn't really the case with RE4, because RE4, it does have an amount of inventory management, but there's never like, I expended so many resources that I put myself in a position where like I probably can't progress and I need to like go back and reevaluate my decisions. Which of course is not as practical with a game like RE4, because RE4 is like 3 times as long as any of these games, but
That's what I liked about RE4 though. And I've tried playing some of the originals way years ago, and I couldn't figure them out at the time.
I mean, like, I guess, like, which one did you play?
I've tried the majority of them. I've got the ROMs on my computer.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say there is a barrier to entry. I would actually recommend if that's something that you like really want to do, is just like go back and play these and appreciate them in like the way that someone like I would, because I don't know if you're that kind of person, but like for me, like sometimes even if I don't necessarily enjoy something initially, if there is something that people expressly like discuss with me that's like memorable or valuable about it, I will try my best to find that appreciation in it, irregardless of like how I may feel initially or how like I might not see it in the initial moment, because a lot of the times like you kind of have to adjust your expectations as you go and put your mindset in a place that's like open to open to taking in the experience as it is and not as you want it to be, which I think is something that like people who go back and play the older games, I found the room, by the way. I'm such a genius. People who go back and play the original RE games that only have experience with like the newer titles, like generally they have a very hard time like struggling with like the initial archaicness of just being like thrown in a big map with a bunch of puzzle items and having no idea what the fuck to do.
Yep.
Which I mean, do you have a newer console?
Besides the Switch, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say, um, if you want to play like old RE design without like the like awful like barrier to entry with like the fixed camera angles and like the obtuseness and stuff, playing the modern RE, like any of the modern RE games, especially the remakes, is perfectly like a perfect substitution, really. Oh my god,
I have. I think it's Revelations 1 and 2 on Switch.
Revelations is bad.
I think that's what it was. I could be. It might be the. Does Type Zero?
Okay, so Resident Evil Zero is a mainline entry, kind of. But that is in. Do you have the just Resident Evil? Because I know the remake of RE1 is on Switch, which I would heartedly recommend you play that, because that's one of the best entries in the franchise. But it's also, again, it does have fixed camera angles. They just look really good because they're from like the GameCube era. But it still has a bit of that obtuseness. Like you have to walk around and figure the mansion out as you go. But that's just a tenement of the design. If that's something that like you can't get over because it's just too obtuse and too like methodical for your patience, then it's just a game that you won't enjoy. Like it's a style that you won't enjoy.
Yeah.
What is this? A picture of a lively boy. Yes, lively boy. And then a picture of an infant. Oh man, I'm so stupid. Alright, Alan, I gotta walk out of this room one more time.
I just looked, by the way, and it is. I do have Revelations 1 and 2, and I
Yeah,
only played both.
you've played them both?
No, I've only played a couple hours in both. Revelations 2 is just absolutely terrible. I couldn't play much.
Yeah, Revelations 2 is awful. I played that on Switch as well. That game is dreadful. And like the worst aspect is it has co-op, and the co-op partner doesn't get to fucking do anything.
That's exactly why I bought it.
Because you want to play with Brit.
Sucked ass.
Revelations 1 is better, I will say. It's got like a creepy aquatic theme, and like the zombies are like fleshy aquatic zombies, but that's also like only a quarter of the game, because a lot of it is like cut up and convoluted. Picture of a young man. Yeah. Just like convoluted like flash forwards and flashes backwards and explanations of organizations and double crosses and shit that's in the middle period of RE, where they just have a bunch of convoluted nonsense in the place of plots and terrible characters that are all like annoying. Let me see. Old man.
I did just pick up Skyward Sword, the remake for Switch.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't, like, because I don't have a Switch anymore, I actually wasn't aware that they had done a remake. Is it, like, how much of a remake is it? Is it on par with, like, the Twilight Princess HD remaster? It was basically just a port, or did they actually, like, remake the game akin to Wind Waker?
It's a port, but it's been enhanced. It definitely looks better, and then they updated the motion controls from the Wii era, and then they also added directional control with the right stick. If you don't use motion controls, that's a lot better.
Honestly, that sounds like it could substantially help that game's lasting legacy, because a lot of what people have problems with it is the fucking Wii gimmicks.
I loved it. I love the story. It's one of my top 3, I'd say. I'm really excited to play it with it.
I mean, I'm actually surprised by that, because like a lot of what I've heard about Skyward Sword is almost all negative. And
no, even bearing terrible controls, I still. I don't know if I'm biased. I love Zelda so much, but I don't know. Just the fact that it's the beginning of the timeline of creation, everything, and that they're going to be tying it into the end with Breath of the Wild 2. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Have you? I'm guessing you've. I mean, this is probably completely obvious, but you have played Breath of the Wild, right?
Of course, I've been multiple times on Master Mode.
Oh. I played Skyward Sword. I liked it. I didn't think it was like earth-shattering or anything like a lot of people purvey, but I liked it. It was fun. The knob is broken.
It's my style of game. I don't know what it is, but games like that, the nostalgia. You don't see too many games set up like this. I really love.
Well, I mean, that's one thing that I had like major stipulations with fucking Skyward. I mean, not Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild was the changes in the Zelda formula that were implemented for marketability's sake, like how they implemented a lot of like standardized Western mechanics, kind of like the climbing towers to unveil more areas of the map. Just more like freeform, I guess, open-ended aspects that like I didn't think necessarily I wanted. Like I liked the more directed approach of the previous games, where dungeons had like particular themes and particular traps and particular puzzles that were, made for that area, and there was like a progression. Whereas with Breath of the Wild, they have this like fixed skill kind of thing where like all of the skills that you get in the initial portion of the game, the tutorial, are the skills that you will need to beat everything in the content ahead. So there's no real progression to it, and there becomes like a repetition to the puzzle design and the way things are generally designed that makes it feel very like shallow and stale after like a dozen or so hours, where like there's all these shrines that you can go to, but they all kind of follow the same sort of general patchwork, and they're kind of poor substitutes for the complex dungeon design of the previous games. But that's just how I felt about it. I still really enjoyed it. Like, the map was beautiful, and a lot of the mechanics were really inventive and fun. It was just a lot of the changes they made to the general format of Zelda that I felt was like inappropriate and kind of made it less appealing for somebody like me who has like an intense nostalgia for Wind Waker.
I completely 100% exactly how I feel about it. I liked it, but there's a lot of things I wish they did different. I have a feeling though with Breath of the Wild 2, and some of the rumors that I've been hearing, that they're going to be kind of mixing in older elements back into it. Really hoping to.
It's kind of an interesting decision though to make Breath of the Wild 2, because that's. I mean, do they have anything like that? I mean, I know they did like Phantom Hourglass, but that wasn't called Wind Waker 2.
No, they've never done a sequel in that story.
Do you can you explain to me how Toon Link, regular Link, 2D Link, how any of these fucking timelines have anything to do with each other other than like motifs that repeat for brand recognition?
Have you looked at full timeline of every single game ever made?
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god. This is so retarded. This is the most retarded thing that has ever been done in a video game. This dog is the stupidest fucking dog. Oh my god. Did you see that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Alan, because I just got dropped into an intense situation. But that was bullshit.
That's all.
I really hope I don't fucking die again. I'm just gonna run past these dogs that killed me last time, because I really just need to progress and save. There was an armor key door that I used that last key on. I don't remember where it was. But yeah, anyway, explain to me the Zelda timeline now.
I like a couple hour long videos of explanation. In a little while, I can't tell you the exact reason, but have you ever looked at like the full timeline every game ever made?
I mean, I haven't watched like hours long editorial videos to explain them to me, but I've had friends try to explain where like they're like different eras of the same world, and like certain ones take place in different eras. Like I know Breath of the Wild is the last, technically the oldest entry, I guess, because they are making a sequel, which would mean that that's technically going to be the last in the chronology now. Which I guess that's not necessarily true, because they could just do some weird shit where, like, you know, it takes place in the past, but like it could be a prequel. I don't know, because isn't like a lot of Breath of the Wild has a lot to do with like the backstory of Link and Zelda, where they like knew each other before or whatever. So I guess there is a possibility that that is going to be the plot. But I also don't know if all those motifs are being referred to because they're referencing older games in the franchise, as in older eras, because they're like reincarnations or something, or if it is actually like a flat like continuation of that plot. Like there was plot before that, you know, transpired that it needed to explain to us.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain. Is this real?
I love how I incited this discussion about Zelda while I'm playing Resident Evil.
So basically, think of it as Skyward Sword being the beginning, and the whole demise ordeal and his sealing away, and then it goes from that to finish Captain Four Swords, and those are just kind of, again, every single game is just kind of the same thing happening over and over and over, with the same evil trying to do the same thing. That's really the best way. You've pretty much already said that.
Okay.
And then it goes from there to Ocarina of Time, and that's where the big major times. You know anything about that?
1 second, I gotta run away from snakes.
Yeah, take that.
You are cutting out, by the way, and I don't know if that's my internet or yours.
It very well could be the bag making crinkling noises.
I'm sorry?
It could be the bag making crinkly noises.
Yeah, it's possible. Are you smoking?
Yeah.
Oh god, more fucking dogs! Go away! You big fucking oafs! God, I hate fucking dogs. They're gonna kill me, too. Look, I'm at danger. Is that Dylan joining? Oh my god, 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 leave me the fuck alone, leave me the fuck alone, leave me the fuck alone, leave me the fuck alone. I apologize for that. That was intense.
Very intense.
Is that you, Jay?
It is.
Where did you come from, boy? I'm streaming right now, by the way. Everything you say is going to be live.
I know. I'm watching. I'm watching what you're doing.
Oh. Well, yeah. I'm playing Resident Evil 1.
I know.
How are you? What are you up to?
I'm watching you play the original Resident Evil. Duck Station?
I'm actually playing this on DuckStation emulator. I have it upscaled to 4K and playing with my Xbox controller. which is surprising. I didn't know that I could actually do this. I do actually own this version of Resident Evil on PS1. I just don't have a way to stream it.
What makes the director's cut different?
So there's a myriad of different things that were added in the director's cut. The most controversial is the entire soundtrack was changed to the most awful thing ever. The soundtrack's really bad. But they also changed, like, they added an arrange mode. Like, I think there's one more mode, I think it was a hard mode and a range mode. Some camera angles in the game were altered, so the general aesthetic of the game has changed in certain places. There's probably more differences, but those are the ones I remember the most concretely.
Why did they change the soundtrack?
Change the what?
The soundtrack.
I have no idea.
So is the director's cut an inferior version?
Yes, overall I think it is. But I mean, they do have a director's cut that has the original soundtrack, which was the director's cut that comes with the RE2 demo disc, which I actually do own that version as well, but the actual director's cut disc doesn't work. Like the demo disc for RE2 works, but the disc for the director's cut does not, which is disappointing, but it is what it is, I guess.
So it's not much of a director's cut edition or version.
Yeah, it's basically just I have the demo for Resident Evil 2, which is still a cool thing to have. You know, I would imagine that that's a pretty neat find. I don't know if like tons of people have that.
So which version do you prefer?
Of the original Resident Evil 1, because if anyone asked me, I'd say play the remake, because the remake is superior in every way. But
well, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, well, I'm not really answering the question. The version that I prefer is just the original PS1.
So why are you playing the director's cut?
Just because it was the ROM that like downloaded properly. Like okay, so let me explain that. That probably didn't make much sense. So I downloaded the ROM for the original director's cut, and when I unzipped it with ZZip, it did not have the files that I needed. It had like weird files that were unreadable by my emulator. And then when I downloaded the director's cut, it worked fine. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll just use this version. I mean, can you tell the soundtrack's awful? I mean, like, it sounds like somebody is just, like, going clackety-clack on a MIDI keyboard. Like... like, literally, I can make this stuff in, like, 5 minutes in Logic. Ah, safe room. Perfect. I was almost dead.
Nice.
Oh man, I need to. Oh, by the way, Jay, this is my friend Alan. If you guys have not met.
What's up?
Hi Alan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Just fine. Crimp Master. What does that mean? Crimp Masters.
I'm a big climber.
Oh. So do you boulder too?
Definitely. Yeah, I've been doing it for.
So I made it to the plant house today. You guys proud of me? We're about to fight spiders, and then we're gonna fight plants 102? Is that it? Jay, do you remember?
Remember what?
Let me get my bazooka. What?
Remember what?
The plant that you fight in Resident Evil 1, what is it called again?
Plant? You mean the giant snake?
No, that's Yawn. I know Yawn.
I don't remember the plant. I remember Lisa Trevor, but she's not in this one.
Oh yeah, she's only in the remake. Lisa Trevor's great. She was like one of the best additions in the remake. Like genuinely tragic and awful.
Scary.
Let's see. That's one thing that I realized, kind of like marinating over some of the best like RE Nemesis, because Lisa Trevor is basically like a retconning of a Nemesis into RE1, because you know like pretty much every one of the games has one now. And like the ones that really make like that really work are the ones that have like kind of like a tragic element to them. The ones that don't are the ones that are boring and are just like blah. But I guess Mr. X is an exception. But Mr. X is also not very scary in the original.
Nemesis isn't tragic.
Well, I mean, there's an element of it because he's like a dude who is like forcibly experimented on or something. Oh God!
Is that actually? He actually has a backstory.
Of course they do. They all do. There are heaps and heaps of convoluted backstory to explain every possible detail in every RE game. And it is all tangential to the plots, because the plots always have to do with the same 4 characters that have no personality, and they're always like just doing action shit.
An Umbrella Corporation.
Well, Umbrella has almost nothing to do with the newer games.
That's true. The Umbrella Corporation. It's true.
Yeah.
Although I'm waiting for Chris Redfield to raid Umbrella Corporation's lunar base.
If that, I mean, the newer games have not jumped the shark that hard yet, but I will anticipate it happening at some point, considering in RE7, in RE8 you fight a techno wizard with a tank.
It's Chris Redfield. Chris Redfield will...
Jill. Oh my God. One moment, Jay. I gotta... Okay, continue.
Chris Redfield will fly his space jet to the lunar base by himself without an astronaut suit, because he knows that he doesn't need oxygen because he's Chris Redfield and...
No, he holds his breath and through pure masculine energy retains his composure.
He holds his breath. He holds his breath, and then he single-handedly defeats the lunar zombies with
his fists. Obviously.
And then
he punches the moon out of the orbit of the Earth in order to save planet Earth.
And then Albert Wesker shows up, but he looks like he's from Code Veronica X.
So he looks ridiculous?
No, he looks like he's from that game's. He's made out of that game's graphics.
Did he get like why is he made out of that game's graphics? What's your explanation?
Why is Chris Redfield on the moon?
He's on the moon because he's got to stop the lunar zombies from taking over Earth.
He needs to stop PlayStation 2 era graphics, Albert Wesker.
So, like, is PlayStation 2 era graphics Albert Wesker a different Albert Wesker than regular Albert Wesker?
He could be, but you'd have to read through a lot of convoluted backstory.
Did he inject himself with a PS1 virus?
The P virus.
They already have that in the lore, man.
Oh.
It's called the progenitor virus.
Oh,
all these viruses have like. Have you ever looked at RE lore? It's hilarious because there's like always
the S virus for Sony virus.
Well, it's like every RE game is like you go to the lore to explain like how any of this is connected, and there's like reams and reams of ridiculous convoluted like pseudo-scientific jargon explaining how all these like ridiculous viruses have lineages connected to each other and they somehow link to each other, and it's like this complicated chain of bioweaponry, and it's like you play the game.
It's always stupid stuff like, even though Albert Wesker was mortally wounded by William G. Birkin he managed to survive through sheer will alone, and then did it himself with an experimental virus that nobody knew about, and he did so through his armpit, and that allowed him to acquire superpowers, allowed him to survive the explosion. It's always nonsense like that.
He didn't die from William Birkin.
I know.
He died from Tyrant. You person who doesn't know lore.
You're an
You
idiot.
call yourself a fan.
You're an idiot. I knew what Resident Evil was. I saw the original Resident Evil game in Toys R Us when it was being sold. I knew what Resident Evil was before you could even walk.
Yeah, fuck you, John.
And I don't waste all of my time reading about the backstory.
I don't waste all my time doing that. Just some of my time.
Actually, speaking of other Wesker, you're right. He does get killed by the. Actually, he doesn't get killed by the tyrant. Probably he gets killed by it. But he returns to life because I don't know.
He injects himself with the virus and becomes Superman. Superman.
Wesker. What's interesting though is that there's actually an ending in the remake of Resident Evil where Wesker does not get killed by the tyrant. He actually gets. So do you remember those? They're really scary-looking, creepy creatures, but you only see them in the last level. I think they're called chimeras.
Oh yeah, the insect hybrids that are added to the lab.
Yes. So he actually gets killed by one of those, and as you're running out of the lab, as the timer is counting down, you can actually find him, and he's dead on the ground, and there's like chimera near him. And if you go up to him and press X or something, it says something like, I guess Wesker didn't manage to get out alive, or something like that. I don't know how you get it, but I got it. I don't know how I did it though.
I mean that's something that I absolutely love, which about the scenario design in the original game, which isn't really retained even in the second game, which had the snapping system. Is like how modular it is and how things can change based on your routing and such, which is even apparent in the original version of RE1. It's much expanded in the remake, obviously. 958. I guess it's 9589. But yeah, I mean especially if you look up, I guess like all the different disparate paths that are in the remake, it's almost kind of bafflingly complex, the scenario design in that game, and how much variation you can actually get out of the game if you forcibly go different routes. Because I mean, habitually a lot of the time you'll go the same route just because that's how you play. I do that in the RE2 remake, where I tend to take the same paths in every single run because they're the most effective for me. But that's because I'm trying to speed run, and there isn't as much of a modular scenario in that game as there is in
Also,
RE1 remake.
Josh, I didn't actually beat Resident Evil 0. I guess I lost interest in it, but I didn't have it. But I remember thinking to myself that there was something really stupid about it, because in it, Rebecca Chambers goes through this entire journey with this other character that is never mentioned in the original game, and she escapes with him from this I don't even remember where they end up going, but it's someplace near the Spencer Mansion. They end up going into another laboratory or a section of the laboratory, and they escape, but obviously she ends up at the Spencer Mansion. So the thing that's so stupid about it is that her entire adventure is never mentioned at all in the original game, and she doesn't have any insight into what's going on in the original game. And even if the events in Resident Evil 0 are the correct events, why did she then go wandering off into the mansion and not go somewhere else to alert the authorities to the outbreak that was? It's just it's like they didn't think at all about the story. And maybe I'm wrong, but I remember thinking that doesn't make any sense.
Jay, so it doesn't make any sense. RE0 has one of the stupidest plots, and also I don't really understand why it exists. I've beaten RE0. I think it's kind of awful for one major reason. It's not bad in the sense that it's like horribly designed or anything. It's actually awful because they removed the item box. It's one design choice that makes it awful. They remove the item box and they make you play as 2 players to expand your inventory to compensate. I remember I had to go back to the very beginning of the game from like one of the last sections of the game to go pick up a grappling hook that you used in the initial train car that you don't have to use again until several hours later. So you run into problems like that where you don't have an item box, you have to put items on the ground and they stay on the ground. So if you leave a puzzle item that you don't even know if you need till later on, like, I didn't even know how to solve this puzzle because I didn't remember about that puzzle item until I looked it up. And then I had to walk all the way back to the beginning of the game to grab it, then walk all the way back again in order to solve the puzzle. It was so counterintuitive and infuriating. Like, who designs a game like that? Who makes players do that? Madmen. Utter madmen.
Didn't think about the story at all. I mean, now that the story is also, I remember there's a scene, Josh. Josh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Isn't there a scene in the remake of the original where Albert Wesker is shooting bees?
I think no. I don't know. I don't know. I want to say that's in the remake.
Yes, it is. It is in the remake.
But I don't remember if that's actually a thing that happens or if you're getting confused bees with Billy shooting leeches in RE0 because that also looks ridiculous.
There's a scene in the remake where Albert Wesker is shooting something. I think it's bees, but it's never really clear what he's shooting because he's just. Maybe it is clear, but he's just standing there and shooting. He's not running away. So it's not something that's scary or frightening. The other thing that I always thought was dumb was why did Bravo team split up? Because all 5 or 6 members get killed eventually. Why don't they just stick together? Like, why did they? They're like, let's all go in different directions to find the weird mutated creatures.
Jay, you hear me?
I know. Yes.
They do this so you can find their corpses and it can be spooky. Okay?
I know.
You find their corpses and you go, ah, Forrest! You've been eaten by crows! Why were you eaten by crows? Who knows? But it was really spooky, wasn't it?
Yes. You're right. Actually, one of the funniest things about the remake, even though it's a fantastic game, is if you go up to the main door, it won't let you leave because it says there are mutant dogs outside. But the funny thing is, in real life, they could have just gone back out and shot the 3 other dogs that were out.
I mean, technically you're wrong because when you try to open the door, there's a cutscene where a dog jumps in and then you have to fight a dog in the lobby. That's in the remake. In the original, when you go up to the door, you just get a weird cutscene where a dog head sticks through the door and is like.
I remember going up to the door and it saying, "Can't go out, can't leave."
Oh, I think it says that after you you open the door.
It's just funny. It's like, well, they could. There are maybe 3 dogs out there.
Yeah, but the dog ate Kenneth.
No, Joseph Frost.
Oh, right. Joseph gets eaten. Kenneth is the guy who gets his head eaten off by the first zombie.
Right. Although Joseph, I mean, like, I can't believe they couldn't take on those 3 dogs.
I mean, they're trained soldiers. What do you expect from them?
I mean, Chris Redfield should have been like, it's time to punch some dogs.
I can't wait until I get to the boulder punching scene.
In the lunar base?
Wait, what?
In the lunar base?
Yeah, that's why I said he punches the moon away from the Earth to save them.
From Wesker.
He punches Wesker into the moon, and the combining force of this
Oh no,
interaction.
gosh! I know what it is. I know what it is. Chris Redfield is so powerful that he punches Wesker so hard that Wesker he goes backwards in time and becomes PlayStation 2 era graphics Wesker. Chris Redfield punches the modern graphics out of Albert Wesker.
And then he creates the moon base in order to get revenge on Chris.
Yes. But when he
This
speaks, you can't really see his mouth move.
We should hire DC Douglas. We should get him on this project.
Who's that?
He's the guy who voiced Wesker in RE5, where he's like complete global saturation. Caress! No?
I like it. I like it. I like it. Although, I think in Code Veronica he has an English voice actor, which is weird.
Code Veronica is bad. I don't know why people like that game.
It was my least favorite one.
Yeah, like I always disliked it.
What does Noel Gervais say about the boulder punching scene?
About which one?
What does he say about the boulder punching scene?
Oh, I mean, he says it's ridiculous. He despises RE5 because of its cynical corporatism and how it embodies the worst aspects of the game industry at the time.
For Noel Gervais to hate a game, you really has to be bad.
Well, that's the thing. He talks positively and negatively, but there's always a distaste there. Like, he hates Dead Space 3, and he said had a lot of positive things to say about that game because he mentions it again. He says that it's a miserable Dead Space game, and I agree completely. Because Dead Space 3 is like
true,
actually...
He has a soft spot for those Call of Duty games.
Well, he just talked about them. I mean, whatever. I said he just talked about them. I don't know if he like loves them or anything, but I also, you know, I actually like those videos. He does a really good job talking about them, and what he had to say about Modern Warfare 3 is hilarious because Modern Warfare 3 is bad.
No, I mean the video is good, and he has some positive things to say about them because not all of the games are bad. They're not, especially the original ones. But I do think sometimes that he. I think he overlooks in that particular video. I think he overlooks a little bit of. I don't know. I mean, I guess I just. He gives Call of Duty a pretty fair assessment.
I'm just
But I think he has
I'm just
soft spot.
incapable of giving them an honest assessment because I despise everything that franchise stands for, and I also despise the company that produces it. So it's like, this is the most stupid. These fucking dogs are the most stupid. What'd you say?
Is that EA?
No, it's Activision.
Oh. EA. What is EA
The
making?
Modern Warfare 1. Are you talking about the remake or the remaster?
No. What does EA make these days?
Oh, that's the remake, not the remaster, because they're so creatively bankrupt that they decided to remake a sub-series in their series. I just didn't play it. So I'm sure somebody played the Modern Warfare story. I mean,
Isn't the original Modern Warfare considered to be a good game?
I mean, it's considered fantastic. I don't particularly like it, but it's basically like no different than any. It's the design formula that COD has been emulating for the past 15 years. So if you go back and play RE4, I mean, not RE4, because RE4 actually falls into this category too. If you go back and play it, it doesn't feel that original anymore because it's been emulated a million times, and you can ostensibly get the same experience from any COD game that you play afterwards. It's just the reason that it was so acclaimed and why it's liked so much now and at the time was the game design that it pioneered, which is commendable. But again, through repetition and emulation, it becomes stale, which is again like something that RE4 kind of suffers from. Despite RE4 holding up better than COD 4, I think, it still suffers from like the ubiquity of third-person shooters and how, you know, a lot of the design it pioneered was copied and made better by games in the subsequent generation. Like, I think Gears of War, for instance, is a like Gears of War and Resident Evil 4 actually are pretty comparable, and I think Gears is better in pretty much every
You mean
way.
the original?
I'm sorry?
You mean the original?
Well, any of the Gears games. What am I supposed to do in this house? I have a key to a control room, but I can't find a control room. It's been a while since I played the original Resident Evil. This is why this is kind of a struggle. So,
Does the big plant spew acid?
probably? I think it does. But don't quote me, because I know it does in the remake. But that don't mean nothing.
Does it look like a big Venus flytrap?
Yes.
Sort of remember it. Is it in a laboratory?
No, it's in the little house that I'm in right now.
Is it in a greenhouse?
What?
Is it in a greenhouse?
Yeah, it's in the greenhouse that I was just in. Oh my god, I hate these fucking dogs. Jay, I hate these fucking dogs.
Josh, you just called me gay. My name is Jay.
I just got my fucking head eaten off. There we go. That's how every life ends, Jay. In a puddle of blood and disappointment. Are you still there, Alan? I'm sorry that we've been talking for so long.
I'm getting stuff done around the house sometimes.
You're what?
Getting stuff done around the house so I can relax.
Oh, okay. I'm entering the world of survival horror, everyone.
Have you ever tried to play Alone in the Dark? The original game?
The original Alone in the Dark? No, I've never even seen gameplay of the original Alone in the Dark.
You haven't?
Or
It's
Sweet
pretty.
Home.
It's really primitive looking.
I mean, I know it's Christ.
It looks like a point and click adventure game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a point and click adventure, and I know it's it's basically like the first survival horror game ever, right? Like
Yes.
that. So I haven't done anything in this house yet. I do have the control room key. Man,
A baby cacti.
is that you, Dylan?
No,
No, you're gonna say no.
it's Allie. It's not Dylan.
Oh, why do you sound like Dylan?
It is Dylan. Oh my goodness.
Why don't you just shoot the zombie guys?
Why don't you just mind your own goddamn business, asshole?
Okay.
I don't know why I'm not shooting them, because I want to save my ammo for plant whatever, but I guess I'll shoot this fucker.
See, one shot and he's dead. Oh, you missed. Ah,
God,
you missed
fuck
again.
this shit. Fuck this shit. It's so stupid.
You missed. You like shot over his head.
Have you ever played these games? It's quite difficult to aim sometimes.
Me?
Okay.
Josh, I never did anything like that.
You never missed enemies.
Never, not once.
You are just fucking lying right now.
No, I became this beautiful records for never missing a single shot in the Resident Evil.
You ever thought about like jumping off a building?
Sometimes.
Me too.
The problem is, if you do it once, you'll be able to do it again.
Yeah, that's the problem with thrill seekers. They always reach a limit.
Gosh. Shoot away from the zombie dog.
What?
Shoot away from the zombie dog. Don't hit it with your grenade launcher.
I was running away from it. Okay. I'm on caution. This is fucking garbage, dude. Dude, this is garbage. This straight trash. I've hardly made any progress. I got the medallions and I got to the guardhouse. I have the chemical that'll burn up the plant.
That pushing animation is weird.
It looks like
I don't even know if it's physically possible.
Thank you, darling. I thought Dylan was going to join also, but he hasn't joined because he's
Okay, Josh, I need to. I'm going to do something else here. We'll talk to you later.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to talk to you.
So long. Have a good night.
You too.
Now I'm alone. All alone to marinate in my sorrows.
I'm here.
Did I hear something?
Shut up.
You know, I made good progress last night. Today, I am just walking in circles.
It's okay. That's good.
OJ left. Yes, he left. He went to go do something else. Bummer, dude.
Where's Dylan?
Stuff? I don't know. I haven't heard from him. You could, I mean, has he texted the group chat?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, use the fucking pad. Thank you. Oh, 958. 958. 958. 928. 938. I'm just gonna press buttons till something happens. I mean, I know the code, but I can't. Okay, there we go. I believe it's 958. It's 9 something 8. I'm gonna say it's 958. Okay, so it's not 958. Do you remember what it was? 948, 978?
I don't remember. I'm multitasking now.
God, Alan, you're supposed to be my backup for this one person that's watching me. How do you think this one person feels with me fucking meandering around, not doing shit?
Sounds like a personal problem.
You know, I thought you were supposed to be a kindly human. But you know what? You turned out like all the rest, Alan. Like all the rest who've left me. You're a liar! A deceiver!
Oh god.
Do you think herbs in Resident Evil are just like weed?
Maybe similar. But there's a lot of medicinal plants out there. Hundreds, not thousands. Not the only one.
Yeah, but like, this low key is green and looks like weed.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the reason why they even have that in the game as a healing item.
Yeah. I'm sure Shinji Mikami has an explanation that like I'm sure that question has been answered, is what I mean. Because
Are you being serious?
What?
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying because of like how many fans of RE there are, I'm sure that like one of the developers has been asked before. They're probably given an answer of some kind.
I'd be really curious to see the answer to that.
Fucking spider. Goddamn fucking spider, Alan.
Just shoot it.
I ran out of ammo.
That sounds like a personal problem.
You're cruel. You're a cruel mocker. Oh. I remember now. You ready, Alan? You ready for this?
Okay, I'm watching.
Alright, you watching this? You watching this ingenuity? I was wrong. Never mind. What I thought was true was not true. Now I must reevaluate my life. See, I see what I was thinking, just to explain my thought processes there. I was thinking that there was going to be a bookshelf there, and then I was going to put the red book in it, and it was going to unlock the secret passage into the lab, which is in that room. But I was wrong, so...
You should know that you played this before?
Wait, what?
I said you should know this, though. Haven't you played this before?
I have played the original Resident Evil like 1.5 times. I played the remake far more. So the original is a little more obtuse for me, even though the general pathing is the same. Which is why I've been walking in circles in this fucking house for like an hour. Okay, so there is no bad bugs in there. Maybe I could use my shotgun. I don't know. Life is a doozy. Let's see, is there a book missing on this shelf? No? Okay. I'm gonna try to kill these fucking spiders with a knife. Let's do it. That door is fuck ugly though. Who would put a pattern like that on a door like that?
Should ask the developer.
You ask him.
So many questions. Let's just compile a whole list.
958. I literally put that. What is this crap? Yeah, you fucking spider. Get out of my life. That's how you dodge a spider in real life, Alan. Take that life hack into your real existence.
I'll remember that. Oh, finally, I can sit down.
Mother, is there a time when life gets any better? Or is it all downhill after 18?
I think it's all perception.
Is that right, Mother? What makes you feel that way, Mother?
I think that it's important to surround yourself with things that you really like and you enjoy, and not to lose sight of yourself.
Those are Wyatt's words, Mother.
I'll take that.
See, now it works, Alan. It works after you get the code. It doesn't work before. If you already know what it is, it doesn't work, apparently.
So it's
apparently, the lock is sentient.
It must be randomly generated then.
It's not, though. I thought it was. Some puzzles are, but that one isn't. Because it was the same when I died, like before I died. Will you take empty bottle? No. See, this is where you mix. Yeah, this is where you mix the ingredients to make the poison for the plant. This room, which you have to mix in a particular order. But I can't use this at the moment because the plant is not actually an obstacle because I can't get in that room, I don't think.
Huh.
I tried getting in that room because plant 182 or 102 or whatever is in this one. Oh, plant 003, I guess. Dormitory key. Ah! The bugs, not the bees. Get it? I made a Wicker Man reference. That makes me funny. I believe this is the dormitory. Yep. Sickaroony, boyo, sickaroony. We're making progress now. I was so tired of walking around in circles in the same spot for 4 hours, so...
It's okay, I would be too.
Plant 42, there we go. 4 days have passed since the accident, and the plant at point 42 is growing amazingly fast. It has been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have... Oh, that's an awful sentence. It has been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have been. Why wouldn't you just say than other plants and shows unique? Why would you put have been there? That's awful pronunciation. And shows unique shape in addition to its size. Looking at the way it behaves, it is now difficult to determine what kind of plant it was originally. There are two ways in which Plant 42 gathers nutrition. The first one is through its root, that reaches in the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and broke the water tank in the basement. Now the basement is filled with water and zombie sharks. Seriously. It is easily imaginable that some chemical elements were blended in the water and promotes the incredibly fast growth of Plant 42. Another part of Plant 42 from the basement grows through the duct and hangs down like many bulbs from the ceiling of the first floor. Many vines come out of those bulbs, and they are the second source for its nutrients. Once sensing movement, Plant 42 shoots its vines around its prey and holds it. Then it starts sucking up blood using the suckers located at the back of its vine. So it's a zombie plant. It's a vampire plant. It also has some intelligence. It blocks the door by twining its vines, and around it, especially when it captures prey or is sleeping. Since when do plants sleep?
Actually, they really do. I witness it all the time. So with actually cannabis in particular, when the lights are getting ready to turn on and they're on a specific schedule, they know, they have like a memory. They know when the lights are going to turn on, and their leaves start to actually perk up. And then when the light turns on, their leaves completely turn upwards towards the light. It's called praying. They react, and they have a memory. It's really, really cool. Also, when they sleep, they produce different types of terpenes, and they also off-gas a lot of carbon dioxide, and it gives them time to use all the energy that they've taken in over the day.
That's some wild shit, honestly.
Plants are fucking amazing. I love them. I don't know what I would do without them. It's a new passion of mine.
I mean, you wouldn't be alive technically if there were no plants.
Just watching them for weeks produce and just grow, it's incredible.
Do you wish you were a plant?
No, but I definitely want to grow plants the rest of my life.
Do you want to find a way to like spawn an offspring from plants? You could have like a protege composed of like cannabinoids. Not cannabinoids. I'm an idiot. I'm an embarrassment to my family and my name. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Cannabinoids. End my fucking life, please.
I wish that was possible, but no. I would love to breed though one day.
So I'm about to go down into the lab. So I think I should mix the poison before I go down to the lab so I can poison plants. Do you remember Plant 42? Plant 42. So I can poison Plant 42 and I can get into the room that it's blocking and I can progress in the game. And I think that's actually like the midpoint, really.
Huh.
This game's not very long. I just have been taking a long time because once you finish the guardhouse, you go back to the mansion, you unlock a couple doors in the mansion, and then you get to the underground lab, and then the underground lab marks the end of the game.
Huh. I didn't know it was that short. I always thought it was longer.
Well, it's short to facilitate the scenario design. I don't know if you were listening to me when I was talking to Jay about like how complicated the scenario design in this game can get, but it's pretty like jaw-dropping when you see it, like in it, like when you kind of see the threads that are laid out between like your routing and what you can do to change certain scenarios, because there's actually a tactical advantage to this when you are talking about like speedrunning a Resident Evil game, because if you know like the scenario route that produces the least amount of cutscenes, you have a scenario route that inherently cuts time off of your run. So, like, there's actually an advantage if you want to get, like, strategic with these games in learning the scenario design in that way. Obviously, most people are not going to approach it that way, but yeah.
That makes sense. I get that.
This hallway is hideous. It's the most hideous hallway that anyone has ever constructed.
It's pretty generic.
Why is it not moving? Why are they not moving? Okay. Where's Dylan?
I was just wondering the same thing.
Have you checked Messenger?
No response.
Hope he's not dead.
Oh god, that would suck.
Dylan's not dead.
Don't say that. You never know.
So, I lose irregardless here. And my confidence of hitting him not being dead, the uncertainty of him maybe being dead increases, thus accentuating the anxiety of the idea that Dylan may in fact be a corpse.
Nah, I don't really think Dylan is a corpse.
No, I don't either. I think
He's probably busy.
He's probably gonna be, his mangy ass is gonna get back with us and be like, "Oh, sorry guys, I was hanging with the granny." And I'll be like, "You fucker, you told us you were gonna be here and you're not here, and I'm sad that you're not here." So I think I know why it wasn't letting me move the boxes.
Why?
Because I didn't add space to this box, so I couldn't push it when I moved it over there, so I think it was like guarding me from progressing. Oh, this is dreadful. This is fucking stupid. Oh my god, Jill. You know, when I play this game, I have my doubts about there being a god sometimes, you know? I'm like, who the fuck would make a game like this if a god exists?
We should ask the developers.
We should ask them if there's a god?
Exactly what you just said.
So we should be like, hey, Shinji Mikami, you fucking moron, you fucking hack. You hack developing 3 of some of the most influential horror games of all time. Fuck you. Why would you make a game like this? And let me explain to you how your design philosophy has turned me to nihilism, and how I am absolutely certain after playing your fucking games that there is no fucking god and there's no meaning in this universe, and why was I born and why am I here and what's wrong with me?
That was deep. I definitely think you should ask that.
I think he would call the cops on me if I came up to him and said that.
Terrorist!
I apologize, I'm doing so awful in this stupid puzzle. But it's also, like, because I had to turn my HDR off, it's so fucking dark. Like, I can hardly see the fucking box.
It's not that bad on mine.
It's probably displaying its proper colors on Twitch.
Huh. I really do love the music in Skyward Sword.
The music?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's really good. It's better than Breath of the Wild by far.
I don't remember music in Breath of the Wild.
Well, it was more like ambient themed music and like an occasional theme song, but the just the songs in Skyward Sword are really good. I don't know what it is.
The only thing I remember about Breath of the Wild really is making food. That was the most memorable mechanic in the game because it was genuinely great.
When you figure out the system, it's actually really, really simple. There's not that many, things you can do with it.
But I feel like that's every aspect of the game really. Is that if you figure out the system, you realize that it's disappointingly shallow. But that's kind of what you got to deal with. But I still enjoyed it. Like I liked making food and being like food. I will say the aspect I liked about it the most was its map. I thought that its map was gorgeous, and there was a lot of really really cool biomes and really cool locales.
And they're gonna be adding like stuff up in the sky with the current map, plus probably added areas for Breath of the Wild 2.
So wait, they're going to keep the original map but just expand it?
Same engine, same map, but it's going to be just completely changed stuff up, and there's going to be floating islands, probably some sort of sky travel. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm praying that they add dungeons back into it and put that more of a center focus.
Well, that was the thing about Breath of the Wild is I don't think like it doesn't necessarily not have dungeons. The problem is that the dungeons are all like the same.
Did you play the DLC?
I didn't. I mean, from my understanding, all it really added was like a higher difficulty, right?
No, so it actually had a whole other dungeon or a whole other whatever the beast was, you know what I'm talking about, the divine beast. And
right.
The dungeon was actually really well made, and it was really well thought out, and then the storyline leading up to it and some of the things that it made you do was pretty interesting. It actually definitely made the game a lot better in my eyes. And then they also added the Master Sword Trials, which is really, really hard, and it took a lot of practice, a lot of doing things over and over and over, and it was a really nice challenge. Definitely harder than anything else in the game by far.
Could you exploit it by just spamming the what is that hero attack or whatever, where it goes into like slow-mo and you can like slash them up?
No, because it actually strips you of all your gear, all of your armor, all of your gear. You don't have any of those blessing abilities, and you have to collect everything and then use it sparingly through different levels, and they all are different setups and different enemies, and it's all, you have to memorize everything basically.
I mean, like,
even down to like collecting resources. Like certain levels will have like hidden chests, which will give you like certain types of ingredients, and then you have to like cook stuff a certain way to get enough meals to last you until you can get to the next cooking spot. Like every 10 levels or so, there would be like a rest area with other stuff. It was really interesting how they set it up.
I would really like more dynamic elements, like for instance, like one of my favorite parts of Breath of the Wild was stumbling upon like the unique like scenarios that were added with certain parts. Like one of my favorites is like when you get stranded on the island. That was like literally one of the most amazing and fun discoveries in the game, is discovering that fucking island. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
You could actually cheese that part by as soon as you get to the island, instead of stepping up on the land, you stand inside the water right before the cutscene happens, and you drop a bunch of items, and then you go through the cutscene, and then you just pick them back up.
Okay, so I don't understand why this isn't working. Why it's not letting me push this. It's letting me push it here. Like, you see what I'm supposed to do here, right? I'm supposed to push these boxes so I can get a path. But this fucking box won't let me get it, like, won't let me meet this gap. Like, I try to do it and it just blocks me. It's really irritating. There must be something I'm doing wrong. God damn it. God damn it, it's like 8:45 and I've done like nothing tonight. I've made like no progress, Alan.
I'm probably distracting.
What?
I said I'm probably distracting you.
Nah, I'm just a miserable fucking failure and I should hide my shame from the world.
No. You gotta remember, it's just a game.
But it's the game. It's the game. Capital The.
Yeah, but you gotta know one that you're competing against.
I'm competing with myself.
So you learn what to do during this playthrough and you get better.
And I can take that into RE2, which I will beat way faster because I know RE2 like front and back, even the classic. Just remember. Just remember, Alan. There's a Jill Valentine in all of us.